Hello, what's up, guys? Welcome to my new series of how to build your own food truck. Today, I'm gonna show you guys the plumbing and everything goes behind the 3 compartment sink and the hand wash sink, and how I managed to put all the stuff together. We're gonna start off by showing this is the wash sink, this is the rinse, and this is the sanitize. These are mandated by the city of Houston. You have to have 3 compartment sink and a hand wash sink. And if the distance in between them is less than 15 inch, you have to have a guard, splash guard. That way when you wash your hands, the water doesn't splatter on the 3 compartment sink. So I'm gonna show you guys how I done all the drain pipes. Let's start with the water tanks. Here we have 25-gallon water tank. It always has to be bigger than the fish tank, which is the 20-gallon. That's on the top. Right here. It's half full right now. That's how I managed to do my plumbing. It's all big. I hooked them up before I put these water tanks, and I use a Ryobi Big's clamp tool. It's a very good tool for tight spaces like this. And I'm gonna show you guys a problem that I've seen so many people struggle with, and I did the same as well. When I bought the freshwater tank, I have an issue finding the right fittings for it, and I'm gonna try to show on the phone. So that's how I ended up solving the problem. As you guys see, I installed 1.5-inch female adapter. Sorry, 1.5-inch male adapter to 3/4 female. And then I added the Bix copper adapter, that's 3/4, and I ran it all the way to the outside. And then on the left side right here, I added a water, an overflow valve, which is a 1/2-inch Bix. I used the vent for that, and I use a 1/2-inch male adapter to Bix connection, and I run them both right here. As you guys see, the white on the left, that's the vent, and then the 3/4 is the blue, and that's the fill. You could vice versa, you could use both ways, but I added 3/4, that way it fills up like much quicker. So that's the problem I struggle with. The problem is with this fitting right here. You can't find it nowhere. Some people use bibes, flexible bibes, the jacuzzi ones, and those are just temporary solution. I'm gonna tell you here, guys, this is the permanent solution. You don't have to fix it later on. This is not gonna go bad anytime soon, and this is built to last. I don't like to use the clam rings, the strap rings, and then trying to tie them off with no secure connection, and it's always in a tight spaces like this, and you're gonna struggle in the future with replacing them, or finding parts for them is gonna be a nightmare, and you're gonna waste your time and stop your business. So this is how I did it. I'm gonna show you guys how it looks from outside. This is how it looks from outside. The 3/4 is on the left side, and then that's gonna be the fill valve, and that's the 1/2-inch. It's the vent valve, the overflow valve, or whatever you want to call it. I got these gasket from Home Depot, and these are shark bites. It's the best fitting I found, because the Bix one are too tiny. The screws are too close to the pipe, so I end up getting shark bite. I'm not a fan of shark bite, but it is what it is, you know. I think this is still way much better than the other solution with the hook it up with the flexible biping. Here we have two gate valves. That's for the fresh water tank, and that's for the gray water tank. I'm recommend you guys to use Blue Monster Teflon tape because it's the only one that didn't leak with me. I had a bad experience with all others. I drill a pilot hole here before I done the bigger hole with the hole saw cutter. And that's how I run my bikes. Again, guys, you might put like jacks if you work under the trailer because you never know what's gonna happen. Going back inside. Alright, so this is the drain system here. So I'm gonna start with one fitting at a time, and I tell you where to get it. These are three fitting actually. You need to get I guess it's 1 inch pipe. It's kind of 1 inch for the sink, or 1 inch, inch and a quarter. This is T6, inch and a quarter, the one right here. And you guys might struggle with the washer that they come with these drain sink adapter. They come with a like clear washer. These don't screw right, so you might buy like an orange ones. They're more flexible. They go behind this nut. Then we have here an 1.5 inch male adapter. This is male, 1.5 inch male, and here it fits in the fitting. So that way you don't have to use a pipe here. So you could just grab one of these and fit it right away to the 1.5 inch fittings. I'm not put link of these so you guys know, because I don't have any beads in hand right now. So if you guys want to know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so we put a short elbow here, and then we measure the vibe. We put T, make sure the flow is into one direction. If you plumbing goes that way, then you might flip this one. My plumbing is going to the right side, so the flow has to be like this. It always has to be smooth. That's how you do it, right? If you done it otherwise, you may have draining issues. Another vibe, and then another T here. These are the same fittings, 1.5 inch BVC males. And then here where it gets like a little bit complicated, but I put it out together for you guys. So let's start with here. You're gonna put the 1.5 inch male to short elbow. You might put elbow like this one. It depends on the space you have. Me, I went with the short one because I don't want to touch this one because the vibration, it gets crazy, so I don't want to replace these later on. So that's another vibe here. A bigger elbow goes straight. Again, another T, watch the flow. The water comes here, keeps going down. It's not gonna go against the wall and then go up and down or make issues with the flow. So I think you guys could tell how the flow. That's V-trap. I don't like using the shut-off valve. I would recommend using a V-trap and a vent. That part you have to order online. It's gonna take like a week or two to come, and it's just not the way it has to be done. So what I recommend is a V-trap. Is way much easier to install, and in order to take off this piece, you could just unhook it up, take it off from here, and you unhook the whole drain system. You unhook that, you just take it off from here and from this nut, and you could take off all this together, and you do whatever kind of maintenance that need to be done. But with the shut off valve, or the water flow valve, whatever they call it, you may not be able to. Makes maintenance harder. Here I made a vent. This normally she goes to the ceiling, but here in food truck, as long as we can't put it in the ceiling, but as long as it's higher than the water level, you guys are gonna be fine. So this is where it goes, as you guys can see from the top. I bought a cap, and I added a mesh window screen to it, and I drilled a hole to the side of the trailer. I'm gonna show you guys how it looks like. That's the water vent, the drain vent. That's right here. Drilled a hole. I found this, it wasn't white, and I painted it black. Back again. All right, guys, so after that we go with 2 flow elbow. I have a little bit kind of like tiny space here, so I start backward, forward, and that's how I managed to do everything. So I started with the bags first, and then I done the drain last. But this is how it looks like. That's the gray water tank. It goes in, that's where it drains. And I want to mention here, for the vent part, I put a plug, because as you guys see, I added the bigger vent, so this is gonna be enough vent for the gray water. And I'm gonna tell you guys here, I see a lot of people where they put this vent, they hook it up with the freshwater tank, and that's a big no-no. Do not do that, guys, because that's how you get contaminant water, because the bacteria is not only in the water, it could transfer in the air as a gas. So it might, when you have them both in one, you always have to have them separate from each other. This is a gray water tank, dirty water tank, and this is a fresh water tank. You cannot have the vents hooked up together and then running it to the outside. So I put a plug here, and as you guys can see, the bigger vent here. So it was much easier to do it this way than hooking up this one, so I end up living with this one, and I put a plug here. Still, the gray water tank get enough vent, and the flow was just normal, as I show you guys with the gate valve outside. I added an electrical outlet. I put weather approved receptacle cover box, and it's piped in a conduit. And this outlet right here, it runs by the switch here. Normally you could turn it on, and you have another switch in the water pump right here, where once you turn on the water, start working like automatically. So if you don't have that option on your water pump, you could just control it from here, on off. Like turn this on, and then turn the water on, and that when you get water flow. But in my case, I have automatic switch. You could just leave it on and turn on the water here, and that's when the water pump start working. The next thing here is the water heater. I think we cover all of that. Oh, right here, that you need to put a plug in the bottom for the drain. I added, this is the gray water drain. and this is the fresh water drain. I just use a little bit pieces here. A male adapter pipe on elbow, and then 1.5 inch pipe, and I ran it to the outside. Same thing with the holes here. I drilled a pilot hole, and I took a picture from the bottom of the trailer. I flipped it on the mirror from a picture edit app. That way I know where the studs, and I kind of know, you see guys, all these dots. So I identify where is the studs before I drill the hole, and then I drilled the pilot hole, and that's when I confirm for the bigger holes, and I've done them. So let's start with the bigs. The bigs, that's where the freshwater tank. I added a valve here. You could shut it off, turn it on, in case there is any kind of maintenance, so you don't have to flush the whole freshwater tank. So I recommend you add a valve. I use all bigs with a cinch clamp, stainless steel clamps, as you guys see. These are easy to use, tight spaces, no problem. And here I need to show you guys about the flow. So we got the water coming out from the freshwater tank through the valve and goes into the water pump filter. The way I did it, I just hooked it up right away to the compressor. I used the Blue Monster Teflon tape. That's the only one I recommend. Do not use the white one. Do not use the gray one. They're sucks and they're not gonna work. They're gonna leak. So I added this here. I made it this easy access in order to clean it anytime I wanted to. And follow the arrow. As you guys can see here, I know it's a little bit dark. Anyways, there's an arrow here, and that's the water flow. So coming from the freshwater tank to this filler right here to the water pump. This is Vibor water pump. It's 110 volt, and it's I believe it's 3.3 GBM, and it's 45 psi pressure. If you guys have like 2 sinks, that's all you need. You don't need any bigger. As you guys seen in the other video, I have to drop down, decrease the pressure, because when I hooked it up, it was kind of like making a buzzing noise, and that's because the pressure was too strong. So I had to lower it down, drop it down. And so you guys, unless you have more sinks, then you probably need bigger, but this one works perfectly for 2 sinks, and I had to drop the pressure. So you might need like 2.5 GBM, kind of like 2.5 to 3.5. It will work good for you. This Vibor water pump, it's like $65. I have no issue with it. Runs calm, quiet. So far, no issues. Here, same thing, Blue Monster Teflon tape. I got these Bex female adapter, and they're like elbow. You could use the straight one, but you still have to add another elbow. That's how I did mine. So it's up to you, the way you do it. And then here, Bex again, we're going all the way up. And then we have a T where we split. As you guys can see here. So one goes all the way to the 3 compartment sink. And we have the straight female Bex adapter. And again here with the T1, the other one goes all the way to the hand wash sink. Is all the way to the left, as you guys can see. And then this T right here, it goes all the way down right here to the water heater. All right, to the cold side of the water heater. is gonna be the same setup. If you have an RV, food truck, they're all gonna be the same. I'm making it easier for you guys. So for the hot water part, we going out from the water heater right here. We have a shut off valve. I couldn't find any of the here. I want to mention the plastic ones didn't work, so I had to get the copper fittings. I looked up for the 90 at Home Depot and Lowe's. I couldn't find them, so I ended up getting the straight one and put an elbow here. But you could just use an elbow right away. They sell them online at Amazon. They are female 1/2-inch adapter, and then they go to pegs. Make sure they are elbow so you don't have to use an extra elbow right here. So that's what I ended up getting, and it works. But that was my situation because I couldn't wait for another like 3-4 days to get it done, and I have to run some tests. So this is the shut off valve for the hot water. This water heater also, it's connected to the switch. So if you turn on the switch, it gets power. You could choose how much the heat it work right now. It says heating. When the first time you turn it on, you may let the all the air, the bubbles to come off the pipe. So you might turn on this valve right here. Turn it on, and then turn on the water compressor and let all the air goes out. That way you don't damage the water heater. So that's how you either turn it on from here or just leave it on the switch automatically. For now, I just keep it off. Okay guys, and as we were talking about the water heater, this is the pressure relief valve, pressure release valve, whatever it's called. It's 3/4, the fitting. This comes with it. I had to add like a 10-inch piece, an elbow, and then a bigger 3/4, 3-footer pipe. I added the clamp to the wall and I fixed it. I drilled the hole right here. It's easy to install. I put this first, and then I made it another longer video of how I done all of this, if you guys want to go and look it up. But that's how I did it. I mounted this first, and these I mounted them last. I screwed this in, and then I tied this one with the elbow first outside, and then I put them all together, and then I added this last piece. Then I added the clamp here. The reason I put 2 nuts because the vibration, that way they don't come off. And from the bottom I added like a rubber cap, the one these comes with it, so it won't get rust. So if you ever want to release the pressure, drain the water, that's where you're gonna do it, right here. And these does not come with it. It comes with the pressure release valve, but does not come with the 3/4 black pipe. So with the hot water connection, we're going up to the hand wash sink right here. As you guys can see, there is a T connection. It feed water for the hand wash sink, and then goes all the way up to the 3-compartment sink right here. And that's it. All runs, everything works. I could have mounted this on the floor, but it would be wobbling. Later on, I'm adding like a door cabinets, and I took advantage of all the space right here. I'm gonna add these two again, just to add like an extra support. And for the water, I might put for the water tank, the fresh water tank, I'm gonna add like a plywood here or something just to support it against the wall. I have a little gap here, and here in the bottom I'm gonna be using aluminum angles, and I'm gonna be mounting them in the floor. That way this doesn't move around. I won't mess with my piping, or they don't go broke, or they don't break. I'll be adding doors here. I found these FRB, like I think 1/8 thickness. They're kind of wipeable, cleanable. I'm thinking of making like a sliding doors here. So I'll show you guys the finished product once I done. I have to do a little bit of work, support the both tanks, make sure everything's secure before I add these doors. I'd rather to make these doors are bigger in case there is a maintenance in the future. Might add them like sideways. See the best way to do them. I need them to be sliding. I bought like an aluminum angles to make the frame for them, and I'll show you guys the finished product and probably make another episode of how it's been done. So far so good. Everything works. Enough pressure, good water bump, no problem. I want to mention, guys, I have a place here to put the dirty dishes, but I still need to add like a dish and drying rack here. I found one like in Walmart where they go like sideways, kind of like vertical, and then they have like containers, and they're all like wire racks. That would work for me to dry the dishes. I will just mount them here, so you could, that's where you have your dirty dishes. You wash them and then you put them here to dry. And I'm gonna seal all these little gaps with caulking, so there's not gonna be any leak or so. These were two separate sinks. I mounted them together here. There is kind of in between, there is like probably like 2-inch gap, so screws, no problem. I added one here and one to the other side right there, as you guys can see. And then for the right side, I just added the bracket that comes with it. Usually you just put this one and put it in the back of the sink. This is a little bit more work the way I've done it, but I was trying to make it more easier for maintenance and take advantage of the space. I have a 14 footer trailer, so every foot counts. So I tried as much as possible to take advantage of the space. And let's turn on the water heater for test before we test the, as you can see, before we test the plumbing, the drains, you have to fill up. It's hot already. This one is I think it's like 12 amps, and it's hooked up to a 20 amp outlet right here. I mean breaker. So you don't have to get this is like 1400 watt. You don't have to get any bigger. You only have 2 sinks. This one works just as good. You have hot water, you have cold water here. Everything is running. So now let's run a test and see if there is any leaks. As you guys can hear the water, everything going smooth. The flow's good. And success for the first one. Also, the drain is fast. It's kind of fast. As you guys can see, we have a tornado here. And the reason it's the water going fast is because I added the water vent after the V-trap. And because it's smooth. The trailer right now is on an incline, so no worries about the leftover water. The second sink succeed the test too. No leak so far. The first one, the second one. Now let's go with the third one. Smooth flow. And let's go both of these together. I want to show you guys the way you put the drain fittings. It matters. I know a lot of you guys would be doing it yourself, so I don't want you to make this mistake. If you put it backward, like upside down, the flow is not gonna be the same, because it's gonna flow from here and then start going there, and then it's gonna bump the wall and then go back. But this is how you do it. You have a water flow, good water flow, water running smooth, no problem. And here we go with the half full gray water. That's my setup. I hope you guys like it. And here I'm not worried about the electric. It's all sealed from here. There is a seal, and I want to show you guys kind of receptacles. They have a tamper resistant, so the water is not gonna get in no matter what, unless you have leak from top and the water goes through the box. But I have a skewer box, it's all in conduits, so no leaks on the box. Electrical box is safe, no worries. All right guys, I will upload the episode for the plumbing soon. I also have a whole nother episode for all this build. That door need to be done, but I will upload them soon so you guys can check it out. Thank you for watching.